In this nitty-gritty prime time Let's Play live stream, we're going to be playing American Mah Jongg at Mahjong Time. If you've not tried playing at Mahjong Time yet, look for my email in the video description below and I can send you information about their 30-day VIP trial. It's a great place to play because it's, in my opinion, the most lifelike, I guess you could say. It feels like you're playing at a table. That's my primary reason for liking to play there. They also have marathons where you can test your skills playing competitively. And then they also have guilds, which is a lot of fun. So basically you play with up to 6 other people against other guilds. And then the guild who has the most points overall wins, and you win in-game currency. That's kind of a unique feature. Well, it's not kind of, it is a unique feature in the online game platform. So I hope that you think about giving it a try. And if you do, send me an email. Also, I just want to give a quick shout out to our moderators. Thank you so much for helping monitor the chat. This format is a bit of a challenge. It is nitty-gritty, so we're supposed to just focus on the topic at hand and not have socialization, because on Friday nights, that's when we socialize and we open up chat for any topic. But for nitty-gritty, we stick to the topic. So I thank you for your patience with these nitty-gritty formats where we just talk about the topic for the day. The topic in this session is the power of position. This is a new topic on our list, and this coincides with the release of my new book, the second primer in a series. And the subtitle of this is Essential Skills and Powerful Strategies You Need to Optimize Your Winning Potential. And this is one of the sections in the book. So you'll get a little sneak peek of what's inside. And of course, we'll be able to do gameplay with commentary to demonstrate the ideas. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching my videos. Let's dig into the topic. Okay, here we go. First time. Oops. I think we need it to be a little bigger. There we go. Okay, the power of position. You ready? You buckled up? Here we go. The power of position is based on the wall in play. You won't know your position in the game until after the Charleston, because everybody starts at the same lineup. We all get a randomly dealt hand of 13, 14 tiles. And then during the Charleston, we do everything we can to transform that hand. When East discards that first tile, your position is dependent on how well developed your hand is. So let's talk about it. The first wall is depleted when the tiles are dealt. So when everybody has their tiles in their rack, there are 3 tiles left, 2 that are long and 1 that is short. So this is what it looks like in the preliminaries, basically during the dealing of the tiles. Then during the Charleston, we pass tiles between ourselves. If you think about it, these tiles are like picking from the wall 3 times up to 7 times. So that's 21 tiles. If you think about it as being equivalent to almost the length of a wall. This is why the Charleston is such a powerful part of the game, and why you want to do everything you can to do both Charlestons. Sometimes you might have developed your hand so well that you don't need the second Charleston, and that should be the only time you stop. If you are in between hands, you should keep going, because this is the opportunity to further develop your hand before East discards that first tile, because then you're picking one tile at a time. That's when we're in the begin game, where that short wall is in play. We're going to pick and discard one tile at a time to continue developing our hand. And we get to call discards if we can, and if we want to expedite hand development. You can either develop your hand by picking tiles from the wall or claiming discards to make exposures. The middle game is the third wall in play, and then the end game is the fourth wall. So to assess your position after the Charleston, what you want to do is look at how many discards you have. And when you look at your discards, you're primarily focused at the category level. So whether or not you've picked a hand, maybe you just picked a category and you have a couple of options, that's okay. You want to see how many discards you have. If you have more than 4 discards, you are likely going to be an underdog for that particular game. If that is the case, you want to take a low risk approach as you continue to develop your hand until you run out of, or until you fill the gaps, if you have gaps, and also build your weaknesses, help turn your weaknesses into strengths. That's the goal. And your position, by the way, can change. You can move from an underdog to being a contender. If after the Charleston you have 4 discards, you're likely going to be a contender for that particular game. This means that you can take a moderate risk approach as you continue to develop your hand. If you have less than 4 discards, you're likely a front runner. And what that means is you can expedite hand development regardless of risk. Now, your position is not a guarantee in the game. Like I said, if you're an underdog, you can bump up to contender. If you're a contender, you can bump up to front runner. But you can also bump back, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Just because you're a front runner does not guarantee that you will win. You still have to be mindful of the risks that you take depending on what happens at the table. And you have to keep in mind that there could be other front runners, whether they know it or not. Watch the wall as you assess your position and bump up or back when East discards their first tile. That's 99 tiles remaining. That's what you see down here in the bottom margin. You see my little mouse there, my mouse arrow around the 99 mark. That is how many tiles are left after East discards. Then at 80 tiles remaining, that's when the short wall is depleted and the third wall goes out. 80 tiles remaining. That is the middle game. So you want to reassess your position. You could bump up or back depending on what happens at the table. Then we have another milestone. This is at 70 tiles. 70 tiles is the ideal time to switch your hand if you have to, because that gives you enough time to gather other tiles for a different hand. If you wait too much longer after 70 tiles, you're going to find yourself between a rock and a hard place, probably. So 70 tiles remaining is the sweet spot for switching hands. Then at 60 tiles remaining, this is when you want to, if you haven't already done so, pick a hand. If you wait too long, you might see your tiles going down and you're going to miss a lot of opportunities. Sometimes you're going to need to just draw a line in the sand or dig your heels in the sand and pick a hand and play it out. 60 tiles remaining. That's also the sweet spot for joker bait. If you don't know about that strategy, I'm sure we'll have an opportunity to talk about it when we do gameplay with commentary. The next milestone is at 50 tiles remaining. At 50 tiles remaining, and this is when you want to start thinking about holding safe discards if you haven't already done so, because the end game begins at 40 tiles remaining. And that is when you want to have safe tiles for that end game, whether you decide to continue playing to win or folding. This is the point in the game, 40 tiles remaining, where there's what I'm calling a push-fold judgment. You have to make a judgment based on your position and your potential for completing your hand at this stage in the game. And we're going to now talk about, or I'll show you some examples of how to assess your position after the Charleston, and then we'll talk about how to pace yourself in the game. And I'll give you a few visuals on the milestones. So in this example, we have consecutive run 3-1. Okay, so this is the consecutive run 1, 2, 3, 1. So this is going to be 3, 4, 5. Probably 3, 4, 5 in one suit. Or we could maybe play the fourth hand down, which would be 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3 number runs, single pair Kong, fourth hand down. And then we maybe have the sixth hand down, which would be probably, let's see, what would it be? 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, I think is what I would focus on for the concealed hand. 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Let's see here. Yeah, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. So we're in between several hands. So what do you think that means? It means we're going to be an underdog because we have too many discards to count. When you're in between at least 3 hands, you're probably going to be an underdog because you're not going to be able to keep all these tiles. And you have a lot of hand development to do. So here's another example. This is year number 4 is what we're thinking about, the concealed hand. For this particular hand or result after the Charleston, there are 4 discards. Or 5, I'm sorry, 5 discards. So we would be an underdog on this one. Plus we're playing a concealed hand. So we'd have to draw everything until we're ready to win. So we would be an underdog on this one too. Here's another example where we would be a contender though. Consecutive run number 4. This is the single pair Kong hand, 7, 8, 9. We have an extra 7, but there are 4 total discards for that particular hand. I would say we'd be a contender on this one. If we could get, maybe build the 9 dot a little bit, or another 9 bam, of course, you could then Kong one or both of those and then be very close to winning by maybe before the middle of the game, potentially. I mean, this is just the way my mind visualizes how the hand can go. But we would be a contender there. Here, let's see, this is, oh, I had this out of sequence. So the next one is odds 1-1. So this would be, let's see, no, this is not odds 1-1. Hold on. Here it is, odds 1-1. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 in one suit. Pung, pair, Kong, pair, Pung. So in this one, we would have 4 discards. We would be a contender on this one. Here's another consecutive run hand that's interesting. 1, 2 dot, 3, 4 crack. Pung, Pung, Kong, Kong. This would be consecutive run number 7-2. 7-2, second hand from the bottom. We have 5 discards, but we've got joker bait. So I'd say with joker bait, we are likely going to be a front runner on this particular hand because we have the potential to get a joker with that pair. So if you have joker bait, you may be able to bump up to front runner even though you have a lot of discards. It just depends. So you want to just think about the 3 positions, and based on your discards and how well developed your hand is, place yourself in one of those positions to help you assess the level of risk you can take in the game. If you're an underdog, low risk. If you're a contender, moderate risk. And if you are a front runner, the risk doesn't matter. You play to win because you're out in front. you can stand to take risks. Here's evens number 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, pair, pung, pung, kong. We have only 3 discards, so this would be another front runner example. 3 discards. So let's talk about now pacing yourself in the game. The game starts when East discards their first tile. The game ends when either someone declares Mahjong or the tiles in the wall are depleted. So the whole process or the phases of the game are based on the wall in play. When you are picking and discarding from the second wall, the short wall, you want to try to commit to a category by the end of that wall or the beginning of the middle game. So 80 tiles. At 80 tiles remaining, you want to try to commit to one category. You don't want to straddle too long because you could find yourself again between a rock and a hard place. Try to commit to one category by the end of the second wall. Then in the middle of the game, commit to a hand. If you haven't already done so, the middle of the game. That is also, hold on one second, let me double check this is also a good time for joker bait. The ideal time for joker bait is 60 tiles remaining because you will have given your opponents time to develop their hand and get them to a place where they know what hand they're playing, and they may take a discard to make an exposure with a joker, giving you that opportunity to do a joker exchange. Then at the end of the third wall, do what you can to be ready to win. Pick the right hand, make the right choices along the way. You could be ready to win by the end of the third wall. That is ideal. Then at the beginning of the end game, 40 tiles remaining, this is when you want to just pause and decide if you are still going to be taking risks developing your hand, because this is when you want to do that push-fold judgment. You want to decide whether or not you have potential for that hand. And if you don't, you're going to fold and then discard safely and block your opponents from developing their hand or winning. But if you're going to play to win, then of course you're going to be taking potential risks with your discards, which we'll talk a little bit more about. And I know, by the way, that I have a typo in here. Judgment in America, English speaking. Well, judgment in America has no E. I know that now. For some reason, I want to put that E in there. But I understand that in Europe, I think they have an E. Anyway, I'll fix that. So let's see. Let's talk about a little more about push-fold judgment. You want to consider your position and assess the level of risk that you can take with each pick from the wall. Every pick and discard, you need to assess the level of risk and decide if that is a level of risk that you're willing to take based on your position in the game, which is based on the level of development in your hand. So we're going to talk now about weight patterns because they matter. They're going to help you decide how much risk you can take, because at this stage in the game, there may be other front runners at the table. The weight patterns are single, where you're waiting for just a single tile. Like, for example, if you're playing 369 number 2 and you need a 3 single pair pung, you need a 3. That's a single weight. Pair, let's say you need a 6 for the same hand instead. That would be a pair weight. So a single weight is a single tile. A pair weight would be waiting for one tile for that pair. Then you're going to need maybe a multiple weight. That would be where you need to get a tile for a pung or maybe a kong. Then you have what could be a double weight. This is where you're waiting for one tile to complete one of 2 multiples, like a pung or a kong, where you have jokers that you can reallocate. There's also a triple weight where you have 3 multiples ready to win on one tile in any one of those 3 multiples. And then the biggest, well, I was going to drop a bomb here. The biggest BA at the table would be a quad weight. This is when you're playing a hand of least resistance and you can win on one of 4 discards because you're playing a hand of least resistance. Pung, pung, kong, kong of some kind. And of course, with the multiple, double, triple, quad, you could also win on a joker as well. The idea with these pair or these weight patterns is that they're weak from the single side and they're strong the closer you get, of course, to the quad weight. So they have strength associated to them. And the single pair, those would be the weakest weights. The multiple weight would be strong, double, triple would be stronger, and the quad weight is the strongest. So you want to look for opportunities to increase the strength of your weight. And then you want to assess your position and adjust it based on your weight. So let's see here if I have that right there. If your weight is strong, for example, let's say you have a multiple weight and you have been a contender with a multiple weight, you might bump up to front runner. If and you also need to think about if you have a weak weight, you might bump back and take less risk. Like let's say you've been a contender for most of the game, but you have now a weak weight. You might make yourself an underdog based on what is happening at the table. So you have to be mindful of the discards that are out, the tiles remaining in the wall, and whether or not one of your opponents could potentially have your winning tile. And whether or not they're going to play to win or fold and hoard those winning tiles that could potentially help you then declare Mahjong. So when you are deciding whether to push to win or fold, you assess the potential of getting your winning tile, and you look for your needed tiles in both discards and exposures. So they're going to be both in discards and exposures potentially. If you think your potential of getting your winning tile is slim, then you're going to consider a fold plan of some kind. Well, the only kind there is. You break up your hand and discard safely, which we'll talk about in a minute. If you think, though, that your winning tile is in the wall, or it may be discarded for an opponent, maybe, for example, an opponent who's also playing to win, they may be willing to take risks and discard a tile where maybe only one is out, or even 2. If you decide to play to win, I would call that a push plan. You're going to do everything you can to win. So that means you may discard a risky tile, and that is going to have to be okay with you. You just do your best based on what you see happening at the table and count the cost and then play the game. If you discard that winning tile and someone else wins, then you congratulate them and move on to the next game. If you think you have the winning tile for an opponent, you have to consider the options, count the cost, decide, and then execute a plan. Basically what I just said. If you want to fold, though, this is where you keep those risky tiles and break up your hand and discard safely, hoping to end the game in a draw. And then you basically live to fight another day and you play another game where nobody won that last game. So let's talk about how to decide how risky a particular tile is. This is a risk assessment matrix. On the left, we have the likelihood that a tile is risky. And on the right, we have the impact that it could create if you discard that tile. On the likelihood side, we have improbable, where their risk is likely to occur, possible, where the risk, improbable, unlikely to occur, possible, likely to occur, and then probable, most likely to occur. So improbable, possible, probable. If you draw a winning tile or a tile that could give someone a winning hand and there's only one tile out, that's a probable risky tile, and you're most likely going to see an opponent taking that for either an exposure or maybe even mahjong. So you have to think about the risk that is going to happen if you discard a tile based on how many tiles are out. So then we have the impact. An acceptable impact on a risky discard going down, you discarding a risky tile, is if an opponent doesn't have any exposures. There's very little information other than the discards in front of them if they haven't been displaced for you to figure out what category or hand they're playing. So if they have no exposures, then that impact is going to be acceptable. There's not a whole lot you can do. You just have to look at their exposures throughout the game to see if you can figure out what they're playing, but it's very difficult without exposures. The more exposure someone has, though, the more information you have to make an informed decision. So if someone has one exposure, that would be a tolerable impact, because even with one exposure, it could be several hands. When you have an opponent with 2 discards or even more, 2 or 3 discards, let's say, then the impact is going to be greater, because you can figure out what hand they're playing, and that's more information that you can use to help you decide the level of risk that you're going to have with that discard. So with the likelihood and the impact, we have low, medium, high, and extreme. The bottom line here is you want to stay away from the high and the extreme. If you can stay in the acceptable, tolerable range, that is ideal. If you're playing to win, though, you may be discarding high and extreme, have discards that have a high and extreme impact level. You don't want to do that, though. If someone has 3 exposures and you have a risky tile, a tile that will most likely occur in someone declaring mahjong, that would be an extreme impact with a probable risky tile, you should fold. So consider this matrix, commit it to memory, and use it to help you decide whether you're going to play to win when you get some risky discards. The whole idea behind this topic is the smarter you play, the luckier you'll be. And that is a quote by Mark Pilarski, who is a gambling aficionado, casino columnist. And I think this is a fabulous quote. The smarter you play, the luckier you'll be. So we're going to play mahjong now. Sharon, thank you so much for joining us, a channel member. Welcome. All right, let's play mahjong. I'm going to go ahead and start my game here, and we'll demonstrate position, power of position, while playing the game. So let me share my screen. Give me a second here. I've got Mahjong Time ready to go. Okay, here we go. We're gonna change that layout here so you can see the tiles a little better. Here's a game we can play right here. First game. Did we get in? Yes, we got in. All right, you ready? First game. Remember, we're focused on position, and I'm going to share how it works so that you'll be able to understand why it matters, and why you want to try to hit those milestones and pace yourself, and then also that push-fold judgment in the end game. All right, we have flower, pair 1, 2, 7, 9, and bams, 5, 9, and cracks, and an 8. This one bam, that's a multiple, so I would focus there. We almost have news. I think I would hold that. We might be able to use news. So let's see if we can pass. I think maybe I would pass one of each suit here. Okay, 1, 2 with ooze we have. We've got a 1 and a 2. So now we have 2 multiples here, 1, 2 consecutive tiles. With wins, that is not going to be helpful. I would probably let these wins go because I would leverage the multiples instead. 1, 2 of some kind. And I would start passing these, kind of parse them out to different players. So let's pass 7, 9 with a west. This, I don't remember who this is going to. That was right. We're going across. Okay, someone gave us like numbers. That's a red flag to me. They may or may not know it, but passing like numbers is very risky. It's almost as risky as passing a pair, in my opinion. Okay, so we're passing left now. I would pass 1 wind, and then I would let something go in here. We have 1, 2, 5, no 3, no 4. We have 1 crack, 1 bam, 2. I think I would probably let the 5 crack go. I wouldn't pick a hand yet. We're just gathering. Now we have all the ones. Maybe consider playing like numbers with ones. We're definitely going to keep going. We need more fodder. So let's pass. Now we do have a pair of E's, but that pair of E's is not helpful with what we have in here. I would just let it go. Sometimes you can't use all your multiples. What would be ideal is to get a 2 crack and a 3 dot for the concealed consecutive hand. 1, 2, we have a 1, 2, a 3 bam would be nice. We could play maybe the 3rd hand down, or we could play like numbers with ones. We have no gaps for that hand. No gaps for the first any like number hand, although our flowers are super weak. We have tiles we can pass, and I would do it. This is a little bit risky, passing 7, 9. We're going across. Trying to remember which wind we gave them. I think we gave them an east. Okay, they gave us a wind, so I don't feel bad. And we're just going to keep going. So 1, 2, or like numbers with ones. Maybe 1, 2, 3 of some kind. Maybe we could play that quint if we get a 3 bam. 1, 2, 3 quint. First one. Okay, we got a 5 and a 7. We got the west back. 1, 5, 7. We have no 3. We have no 9. So I would not consider playing like the odd hand, the first odd hand. I would pass fully. And it seems nobody wanted the wins, so we're going to give them that west. They gave us a south. Hopefully they don't need a west. Okay, we got an east. It seems that nobody wants wins. We'll find out when they discard this first round of discards. Usually if no one's playing wins, you see them
7 bamboos.
You see them go down in the first round.
West
First
wind.
couple of rounds. So there's a west.
8 bamboos.
Oh my gosh, look, we've got a pung of east. We might even consider playing, let's see, we would do
5 bamboos.
Oh no. That second quint, the second quint we would
9
need
bamboos.
unmatching numbers. So 1, 2 in
West
one
wind.
suit like that is not possible. We would need a different number, and
South
they can't be
wind.
like numbers either. Okay, there's a 4. We'll keep the 4. How to remember
7
what I pass
characters.
first left when choosing second left tiles. I get caught up in the passing. Okay, Ellie,
Red
we'll talk about
dragon.
that next in the next game. Since we're in the pick and discard phase of the game, we'll circle back to that. But I understand that
5
challenge.
bamboos.
I feel the same way. I forget what I pass.
2 bamboos.
The bottom line is you want to do the best you can with what you have, whether you remember what you pass or not. Okay, now here a 2 bam is out. we don't even know what hand we're playing. If we played 1, 2, 3, for example, we would have a gap. So I wouldn't, we let that go.
East wind.
Okay, so now we have 1, 2, 1, 2. Here's
East
1,
wind.
2, 1, 2 of some kind. Nobody wants the east, so that is not good joker
West
bait.
wind.
Looks like winds are going down now.
4 bamboos.
I'll pass. Okay, now there's a 3. That
East
that
wind.
could be helpful right there. 1, 2, 3.
3 bamboos.
We have now here, we would Kong that probably for one of 2 hands, but we're not ready. So we have to pass. We could maybe play the 3rd hand down, 1, 2, 3 with flowers, or we could play pung, pung, kong, kong, 2nd hand from the bottom on
5
the left.
bamboos.
There's another flower.
East
So
wind.
I would probably let the 4 go at this point
7
and
dots.
focus on 1, 2, 3 with a pair of flowers, or like
4
numbers with
bamboos.
ones. We still have some potential for like numbers with ones. So I would let the 2 dot and the 4 go now.
2 dots.
We don't need winds.
North wind.
So 1, 2, 3 Kongs, or like numbers with ones.
4 bamboos.
It's going to depend on really the 3 bam at the moment. We could Kong the 1 and the 2 bam. There's 1, 2 bam
5
out.
dots.
So we'll see how we draw, which hand we're going to play. We don't have to pick
1
a hand.
dot.
Okay, there we're going to wait because we have probably a better potential with 1, 2, 3. We can wait on that 1 dot.
9
If another
characters.
1 dot goes down, we could maybe pung and then use the 2 bam as joker bait. Although it was discarded and nobody wanted
7 dots.
it was discarded in the first round of discards, and maybe someone
5
just wasn't
bamboos.
ready. Kind of like what we're experiencing right now.
8 dots.
Winds.
West wind.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3 looks the strongest to me at the moment, but
9
2 of our
characters.
tiles are out. So let's just see what happens. We have 2 discards before we have to pick a hand. So we can just wait patiently until we draw maybe a deciding tile.
bamboos.
Okay, so this is where we have to choose. I would go ahead and just Kong.
Kong.
We have to, this is 66 tiles. This is where you really need to pick a hand anyway.
2 dots.
I think we should just dig our heels in the sand and pick a hand and play it
8
out.
characters.
We have a hand with no gaps, and that's
6
a good,
bamboos.
has good potential. We just need a joker for that 3. But we can Kong the 1, which is good. The 4's out, the 1 dot is out, the 1 crack is an unseen tile. We're at 63 tiles
White
remaining. This is the
dragon.
middle of the game. Let's see, 5 dot is out. Let's go ahead and discard the 5 dot. Because we
5
still want to
dots.
optimize our potential to get jokers. The 1 crack is not out yet. Maybe someone's collecting 1s. By 50 tiles
1
remaining.
character.
Oh, there it is right there. Nobody wanted it. So now it's a discard.
7 bamboos.
So these are all safe discards at this point. And we're at 2 picks away
8
from that 50
characters.
tile milestone. There's the 1 crack. Okay, let's let the 4 go.
4 bamboos.
One thing we could do is look for 3 dots. Although we have a pung of 1 bams. I think we should stay where we are.
4 dots.
We could have maybe considered switching to the mixed suit hand with that 1 crack
1 dot.
and then the 2 bam, but we have no 3 dots.
2
That
dots.
would be a gap. Okay, so we're going to let the 1 dot go. Now,
1
here's,
dot.
let's see here. We're committed with this Kong. We
Red
should just
dragon.
stick this out. I was thinking
8
about last
bamboos.
year's hand, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's now a quint, pair, quint, pair, quint. 3rd hand
White
down.
dragon.
We're already committed with our 2. Okay, now We're at 50 tiles remaining. No 2 cracks are out. So that should go first.
2 characters.
And then we have safe discards here. 50
3
tiles
dots.
remaining. This is when you want to start holding safe discards. We have 2 picks before we get to the end game.
9 dots.
We have 3 discards, all safe. I would play to win, even though we need a joker for that 3. We actually
5
need 2 good
dots.
picks for that 3. Well, we don't want to hold on to that. Someone could still
1
be playing a
dragon.
year hand, but there's no hesitation there, so probably not.
9 bamboos.
So we need a 2 bam would be awesome because, oh, no, that's locked in. It's right here. So we need a joker and a 3 bam.
9 dots.
We have our pair, so any number of jokers would help us. This is what I call a hand of slight resistance because we've got our pair. Once you get
8
that pair,
characters.
all you need are jokers at that point, or the natural tile, of course.
9 bamboos. 6 bamboos.
Let me see here. There's a video.
4 dots. North wind.
Okay. Oh, yeah. We don't want to hold on to dragons. That's an
Green
unseen
dragon.
tile right there.
Kong.
Okay.
Flower.
We're going to pass. I want to save a link to a video for you, Ellie. You asked about
4 dots.
how to remember what you pass and what you're given by other players during the Charleston. I have a
South
video
wind.
that might be interesting to you. Okay, now here we got that 1-3 now.
1 dot.
Now we have no gaps with 1, 2, 3 mix-suit Kongs. However, there's a 3 dot out and there's a 1 crack out.
6 dots.
So either way, this is going to be risky, but it's just interesting how it turned out.
7 bamboos. North wind.
All right, we need a keeper. Uh-oh, no. There's already
Red
one out
dragon.
right there. It was just discarded. All right, we have a winner. 4, 5, 6 dragons, second hand down. They had a couple of jokers, which is nice. I think they even defined that. Oh, no, that 4 crack is what they defined. They had a gap hand. They played a gap hand. That 4 crack is a joker. They drew a joker. So that, by the way, is a very popular hand. I see a lot of people play that hand. Here we have 2, 4, 6, 8 with 8s, probably the pair hand, maybe. No. 8 crack, 2 pairs of 8s. They're playing the concealed hand, concealed even hand. Here, 3, 6, 9. They're kind of in between. Let's see, 3, 6, 9. 3, 6, 9 with 6s in the middle, or maybe 3, 6, 9, the 5th hand down. No. They might have been trying for the concealed hand, I think. All right, let's play again. All right, so now, how to remember what you pass in the Charleston. If you have a strong memory, you can do it. I do not have a strong memory, short-term memory, so I don't put that pressure on myself to remember what I pass to who and what is given to me by who. It's way too much for me to handle. If you have that skill, use it. If you don't, if you're more like me, the best thing you can do is just look at your remaining tiles that you know you don't need and mitigate the risk. Every pass, just make it as benign as possible. And that is the best you can do. Pass the best you can with what you have. If you can remember just one pass, it would be the first left. Try to remember what you give away in the first left because you're going to pass to them twice in a row. That would be the only one I would recommend trying to remember if you don't have a strong short-term memory like me. And then there is a video that you might be interested in, and I just put it in the comment section or in the chat, about reading hands in the Charleston. And I go into, I think that is the video about remembering who passed what and what you passed to who. It's a lot. It's really stressful. You're welcome. Okay, so we're going to do the best we can with what we have. We have a 4-crack pair. We have another 4, a 2, no 8. I would probably focus on 4s, maybe even like numbers. If we get a 5, we could maybe do 4, 5, 6, 7, but I would not pick a hand. I would even be inclined to play like numbers with 4s, or now maybe a year hand because we were given a white dragon. So let's just pull off the 2, 4 year tiles here, maybe the 3. We have tiles we can pass, but that's a bit risky. I probably wouldn't do that. I think what I would do here, we have 2, 4, 2, 3, 4, maybe focus on a year hand or like numbers with 4s. And we're focused on the 4-crack pair because that's our only multiple right now. Okay, so now we have a 2 and a 4. So here's a 2 and a 4. Here's a 7. Sometimes you might have potential for addition, but what we need in here is a 3. Oh, we need 1 suit anyway. That's not helpful. I would break it up. With a 2 dot and a 4 crack, we can let the dragon go. I would focus on a year hand. So maybe the 3rd year hand, we would need, let's see here, maybe the 4. So this would be the year block, and this 2 would go away. So we would do 2, 0, 2, 4 in dots, and then Kongs of 4s. And then a pair of flowers. We have 5 discards at the moment. Incidentally, Joker Beat is not good during the Charleston. Don't shackle yourself with a pair you don't need, especially if you are going to need to, if you're going to pass risky, it's better to break it up. Incidentally, we just gave the player to our left a 7, so we do not want to pass them that 7 bam. We're going to keep going. Let's see here. We do have a keeper there, 2, 4, but I do not want to give them another 7. And we have a hand here. We do have a little bit of a weakness with the year block, but we've got the 4s. Let's pass the 2. 2, 4, 4. We have no wins. I do kind of think about the big year hand, but we've got a joker, so I probably wouldn't even think about that. I think probably the 3rd hand down looks pretty good. All right, so we're looking for the 4 dot, really would be ideal. 4 dot. No keepers. Let's see. I don't want to do that. I don't want to pass all odds. We'll pass the 6 bam, 1, 6, 9. That's not too bad. So we need a flower and 4s. Okay, we've got a white dragon here and a wind. I would not worry about that. And by the way, we did get the 7 bam in here. I would break it up. Now, would I pass a white dragon here? I am tempted to play the big year hand, but it's really not helpful at the moment. I would pass it. We're close enough to this hand with no gaps other than that 4 dot, which is a single Oh my goodness. Oh, geez. Oh man, the level of risk. Yikes. I would, no. Yikes. Oh, goodness. Let's see. We got the white dragon back. We're doing the optional. We're going to wait for our opponent. I definitely wouldn't pass 2 sevens. Nobody wanted the 7 bam, so this is not going to be good joker bait. The white dragon, it seems nobody wants the white dragons. I think what I would do is pass 1. 1. The 7 bam. Nobody wants it. So it's not going to be good joker bait. It kept going around in the Charleston. I would keep the dragon because if we get a 4 dot, we could even play like numbers and then get maybe another dragon in here. But I think this third hand down under the year is best for us. Okay, now assess. We need to assess our position. There's the white dragon. I would just let it go. Oh, another flower. By the way, we have 3 discards after the Charleston, so we're a front runner on this one. We just picked up a flower, so now we have that pair in hand. We need a single tile for the 4 dot, but we're ready to Kong one of these 4s. We need 1 good pick and we'll be set. So I would say we're a front runner. 3 discards after the Charleston.
8 bamboos.
We're a front runner, even though we need a 4 dot in here. But we could be
1
ready
dot.
to win on that if we don't draw it. Let's see. Let's let these 7s go.
7 bamboos. 4
shoot.
dots.
Okay. That was our tile, 4 dot. But there are 3
bamboos.
more and nobody took it. So that's the silver lining.
7 bamboos.
Okay, let's let that 7 dot go.
7 dots.
We have 2, 3, 3, 4, but it's not really gelling. I would just let those go.
1 dot.
We can let the 1 crack go next, I guess. So
5
2, 4, 2, 4, 2s and 4s. Your hand. Third hand down.
Dots.
Uh-oh, that's our tile.
1 character. 9 bamboos.
We need that 4 dot. Or we need to draw a good
East wind.
tile for these other 4s. Part of me is thinking maybe we should consider holding wins.
2 characters.
We might need a plan B, year hand.
East wind.
Okay, we're going to pass.
Six characters. Pung. 4 dots.
That was the third one. We're in a
Flower.
we're in a precipice situation here. We're at a precipice. We might need to switch to like numbers with 4s and news because the 4 dot is out.
4 bamboos.
There's only 1 more. So we have to make a choice here. 4 bam, Kong. Let's go ahead and Kong.
Kong.
So we're in a risky spot at the moment, but we might be able to switch to like numbers with 4s and news if we can't get that 4 dot.
1 character.
So now we just wait it out. I would say we're probably
7
a contender
dots.
at this point because we're in between.
Green dragon.
We're in between. We need a deciding tile. We're at 74 tiles remaining. So
7
we're very close to being a front runner, but
9
I think
bamboos.
we have a little vulnerability right now because our tiles went
7
down,
characters.
the 4 dot. Now, if we draw a 4 dot, I'd bump us back up to front runner. So we need to take low risk or moderate
2
risk.
dots.
Okay, we're good there.
7 dots.
It's 4 dots going to be tricky. If we draw a north or a west,
Flower.
I think I would be likely to switch to like numbers with 4s and news. Third hand under any like number because of the 4 dots. There are 3 out at the moment. If we draw a 4 dot, I would stick with this hand. Okay, now there's a joker. So that's helpful. I would let this east go.
East win.
Because now we can maybe Kong the 4 crack and be ready on the 4.
1 character.
But if we have like numbers with 4s and Kongs, they're likely going to know we need a 4 dot to win.
Red dragon. Kong.
Ah, we got skipped. And they're going to have our 4 crack, by the way.
North wind.
So with a 6 crack pung and a red dragon,
Pung.
they need a pair of 4s. Let's see.
7 characters.
They're likely going to have our 4. And we want to get that south out because
South
this
wind.
player to our left has a north.
Pung.
There you go. So you don't want to hold on to that risky tile for long.
8 characters.
Okay, so we still have some potential here.
5
The
dots.
4 crack is going to be probably in this player's hand to the right.
7 bamboos.
But we still have potential to win. We could maybe use a joker for the 4 if it doesn't
8 bamboos.
go down.
8 characters.
4 dot would be awesome. Oh, 5 dot.
5 dots.
Oh,
8 bamboos. 5 bamboos.
we are looking for a 4 dot ideally.
6 dots. Pung.
Uh-oh. Look at all the evens out.
9 dots.
They may even have our, no, they
6
threw a 4
dots.
dot. Okay, 1 crack is out.
1 character.
We're at 53 tiles remaining. This 5 crack, 1 is
9
out.
dots.
So it should be okay. This is when you want to start holding safe discards. And I would still play to
9
win, but
dots.
we're going to need probably a joker.
1 bamboo.
Another flower. We could maybe even switch to like numbers with 4s
5
and 4
characters.
flowers. We don't want to hold on to a flower though for too long if we're going to play this hand.
White dragon.
Okay, we're good. There's 1 more 4 dot left.
9 dots.
I'd say we're a
1
contender.
bamboo.
8 dot, okay.
8 dots. Flower.
Okay. Okay, there was a bit of hesitation on that besides me. With north and
4
south punged, they
characters.
don't need a flower. Okay, let's Kong.
Kong.
And we're going to throw the flower.
Flower.
And now this player to our right, there's no way they can win. Let me see. Let me
8
make sure.
bamboos.
6 crack with oh, you know what? They could be playing the 3-6-9
West
dragon
wind.
hand. They're playing 3-6-9
1
dragon.
dot.
4th hand down under 3-6-9.
West wind.
I thought maybe they were playing 2-4-6-8. But no, I don't think so. They could also be
West
playing
wind.
3-6-9 with dragons. With Kongs of 4s, there's only
7 characters.
1 hand we could be playing. Well, 2.
8 characters.
We could be playing the news hand with like numbers, or we could be playing
5
this
dots.
year hand, which is, of course, what we're doing. So I don't know who's going to be throwing
3
a
bamboos.
4 dot right now. It's the last one. There are 3 out, so you would think, oh,
8
it's safe.
characters.
But with 2 Kongs of 4s, this would be a very risky discard.
3 bamboos.
We may have to draw it, and we may even have our
East
opponents
wind.
folding and holding our tile. That would be inaction, really.
5 bamboos.
Let's see here. Just confirming.
West wind.
Hopefully it's in the wall.
9 bamboos. 7 characters. 4 characters.
Oh, they got a joker. Doggone it.
Flower.
No, we're good there. Seems nobody wants flowers.
4 bamboos.
We're going to find out. Oh, we're ready on a pure hand now.
8 dots.
Who's playing to win? Someone going to discard?
Kong.
Who's going to discard a 4 dot at this point?
2 bamboos.
Anytime someone makes an exposure in the end game, they're likely playing to win. So we might see somebody
2 characters.
discard a 4 dot, but it would be very risky.
5 characters.
I'm kind of hoping someone's being risky here. Playing to win.
1 bamboo.
This player to
2
our left,
bamboos.
they might throw a 4 dot.
2 dots. 2 bamboos. South wind.
Okay.
3 bamboos. 5 bamboos.
We have 4 more picks.
North wind.
Oh, they got a joker. Oh.
5 characters.
I wonder if they switched from 2, 4, 6, 8 to 3, 6, 9 when I put out my
2
Kong of
characters.
4s. Because I was thinking they'd be ready to win by
3
now.
characters.
Okay, 4 dot from the wall. Let's hope. 4 dot from the wall. They do not need a three crack. What's
2 characters.
how many green dragons are out?
3 characters.
There are 2 green dragons out. 3 white dragons are out. How many 6 bams?
Characters.
How many 6 bams are out? I don't see any 6 bams. What? Oh, they had our 4 dot. Doggone it. Okay, so here we have 8, 9 with north and south. Over here, 3, 6, 9. 3, 6, 6. What? No, that doesn't work. That's not how that works there. Here's our 4. And I don't know what's happening there either. Because a 3 crack with a 6 crack and dragons like that, that doesn't work either. They have our 4 dot. Oh, all right, here we go. Okay, so what do you think about position? Does it make sense to you? Let me know if you have any questions about it. We're waiting for someone to join the table. Here we go. All right. What do we got? We have a pair of 7s, pair of red, pair east. Okay. We have a joker and a flower. 7 dot. Red dragon. 5 dot. What about, is there the offsuit dragon hand? 5, 7, 7, 9 dragon. We would need 7, 9 and bams. With a red dragon, we might be able to play like numbers. Let's see, with a west, I think we should break that up. And then maybe pass 2, 5. We did have some potential there for like numbers with 5s and dragons, but we don't have any other 5s. We're just as likely to maybe get 7s. And then I would maybe want to play the 5, 7, 9 dragon hand. Let's see here. Second hand from the bottom on the right. Okay, we did pick up a 5, which I would hold. Let's see. We do have tiles we can pass. Here's a 6. I would pass 2, 3 like that. That's not bad. Okay, we need keepers. 7s, 7, 9 and bams. 5s, 7s would be good. Okay, we have a 9 dot, 4 bam. Not really helpful here. Here's 5, 7, 9. We do have 5, 7, 9 dragon. That has no gaps. I probably would let the 1, 6, 4 go here. 5, 7, 9. We could maybe look for 7 bams and play 5 bam, 7 bam, 7, 9 dot. So that would be the second hand from the bottom on the right. But there's also third hand down. 5, 7, 9 dragon. 5, 7, 9 dragon. The weakness is the 5 dot at the moment. Well, and the flower. The other one, we have a gap, no 7. So that would be lower on the list until we get a 7. There it is. Okay, so now I would focus on 5, 7, 9 dragon, and that would allow us to leverage both multiples. So I would let these go now. And we definitely can keep going. We have 5 discards in a hand with no gaps. Second hand from the bottom on the right. Let's see. So we have, let's see if we're going to keep going here. Yep. So now we have a 1, 2, 5. I think I would keep the 2 and pass the 5 with the dragon. 1, 5 dragon. You know what though? We have potential for like numbers with 7s. Let's keep the dragon for a minute. Okay, Nancy's asking, what is a heavenly hand? Oh my goodness, look what we just got. Are you kidding me? Wow. Oh my goodness. That is super risky. Okay, we're going across. Well, we have to pass. So we have to pass. Yikes. That is super risky. Oh my goodness. Okay, we have tiles we can pass. Wow. A pair of 3s and a 3. Oh my goodness. Yikes. Okay, sorry, Nancy. Heavenly hand. A heavenly hand is when East is dealt a winning hand. It's rare. It's like a once in a lifetime thing. I've never experienced it myself, and I've never actually seen it. My mom had one, and I see people sharing about it on social media. So it can happen because East gets 14 tiles. If East goes through the Charleston and wins before they discard, that's called an earthly hand. All right, we got a keeper here. So I guess that risk was worth it. And I would go ahead and pass the 3, 5, but I wouldn't pass pair. So we have pair, pair, pung, pung, kong. we need one good keeper in here. We need well, 5 bam would be great, but we also need let's see, a red dragon or a 9 dot, and we'd be set. I would say we're a contender because at the moment we have 4 discards. Let's see if we can get a keeper. If we can get a keeper before the third wall goes out, I'd say we could bump up to front runner. Right now we're a contender. We have weaknesses, no gaps, but we do have weaknesses. So we have 4 discards. We are definitely a front runner. I mean, a contender on this one. So with these tiles, I probably would discard the flower first.
3 dots.
Oh, here go the 3s. Wow.
8 characters. 3 characters. Flower.
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 Okay. Flower.
9 dots.
Okay, here. This is the first tile out. We know what hand we're playing. We would need to pung here. I would wait until the next 9. No, you know what? Let's pung.
Pung.
We have a hand with no gaps.
3 characters.
So we're going to take it. If you have a hand with no gaps, you can expedite. We can even pung the 7 dot, but we're a little bit vulnerable with that 5 bam.
Red dragon.
Oh, and that. We can't call that. We need to Kong. So now we're going to need a joker. So I'd say we're definitely a a contender. I keep telling myself front runner, but we're not. We're a contender.
5
So
characters.
we need to be mindful of that 5 bam. Maybe we'll draw our 9 dot.
dots.
Oh, darn. Somebody got it. Oh.
1 character.
All right. Let's see here. Let's throw the 1.
1 bamboo.
So we have a 9 dot pung. 9 dot pung.
2 characters.
Mahjong after the deal. Yes. That's a heavenly hand.
3 characters.
All right. We need a joker for the red dragon. 5 bam
1
would be
dot.
really nice too, though. Because that would be
2 characters.
that would be our pair.
4 characters. 5 dots.
Oh, hesitation on the 5 dot. Darn. I was hoping they would take it with a joker.
9 bamboos.
Okay, there's a 5 dot. We can maybe use that
2
for
dots.
joker bait. There was a hesitation on that 5. Okay, so 80 tiles remaining. We have 1 discard and joker
4
bait.
dots.
So I would still say we're a contender because we do need a joker for the red dragon. And we have a weakness
6
with our
bamboos.
5. I would still say we're a contender, but we're very close to being a front runner here.
Pung.
Now, here is a
6 characters.
here's a player with a Kong of 6 bams. That is a proximity tile. That means that we could be impacted by that 6 bam player. We need a 5 bam. We don't know
4
yet what they're
characters.
playing. They could be in 1 suit playing consecutive run, for example.
2 bamboos.
My hope is they're playing 3-6-9 though. With a Kong of 6s, I'm hoping they're playing a 3-6-9. Oh, they're playing even, so all good.
6 characters.
It's all good. So now we don't have to be concerned about the 5 bam with them.
3 dots. 1 character.
Okay, let's see. Let's just throw the 9.
9 characters. 2 bamboos.
We need a joker for the red, but we can pung the 7.
3 dots.
5 bam would be an ideal pick.
1 dot.
A 3 bam.
1 character.
Okay, we're at 70 tiles remaining. This is the sweet spot
9
for switching
characters.
hands, I think. Still gives you enough time to gather tiles for a different hand.
2 dots.
If you ever are in that situation where you need to switch your hand.
West wind.
Okay, we need a keeper here. Come on now. Joker, that'll do. Okay,
3 bamboos.
excellent. All right, now 66 tiles remaining. In the next pick, let's say,
Flower.
we can maybe discard this 5 dot. We might be able to get a joker out of that. I'm still hoping we'll draw our 5
3
bam,
dots.
but our hand is set. So we can Kong the red, pung the 7,
9
and be ready on the
bamboos.
5 bam. Okay, so 63 tiles. Let's go ahead and let the 5 dot go.
5 dots.
Well, there was a hesitation, but no take. They didn't bite.
6 dots.
So we're going to let that 5 dot go next. Don't be
7
surprised if you see
characters.
an exposure with jokers, in which case they know about joker bait.
6 bamboos.
Oh, they got a joker. Darn it.
8 characters.
Okay, here we go.
5 dots.
Another hesitation. Big hesitation.
Pung.
There it is. Joker. And that joker bait is
South
that
wind.
joker's locked in. So interesting. All right, now 2 are out. 9 bam, 2 are out. 9 crack, 2 are out.
2 characters.
Now 5 dot pung. I hope they're not playing the 3rd hand from the bottom, the chow hand.
6 dots.
They could potentially have our 5 bam. That could be a bit of a challenge if that's the case. My hope is that they're,
Kong.
oh, good. We're good. We're okay. We don't need to worry.
White dragon.
Now they're playing consecutive with bigger numbers. Well, they could be doing 3, 4 in a different suit. Cracks, let's say cracks. Oh,
Kong.
big hesitation on that one. Okay, we have a
West
Kong
wind.
with jokers ready for taking up there. We have a shopping
3
spree ahead of
bamboos.
us. Oh, 9 dot. All right, that'll be a good
9
safe tile for
bamboos.
later. We're at 54 tiles. This is when you want to start holding safe discards. So I would
8 dots.
keep that 9 dot because it's out in a pung. So that will be a really good discard for later.
8 characters.
Okay, we are looking for a 5 bam as an ideal pick, but we'll take what we get, of
4
course.
characters.
A flower. No.
Flower.
We do not want to hold on to that. That was a little bit scary. There are 2 9 cracks out, so this should be safe.
6 characters.
We're still ready to pung and Kong the 7 dot and red dragon.
3 bamboos.
Right now we're semi-stealth mode with that pung. Only 1 exposure
North
out.
wind.
All right, so we need a keeper in here. There's the 5 bam. Now
9
we can
characters.
relax. We can relax. We have 1 discard. We're at 46 tiles
Green
remaining.
dragon.
If we can draw a
Kong.
keeper, we'll be ready to win. Oh, 2 Kongs
West
of
wind.
dragons. They're playing news with dragons.
8 characters.
North. We're going to let that go now.
North
There's
wind.
a north in front of them. It looks like they need an east. They have
Green
a
dragon.
north and west in front of them, and there's a south right there.
East wind.
That's what they need, and they didn't take it. News with dragons. This would be the second hand from the bottom
5
under wins.
characters.
They didn't even hesitate on that west. Maybe they need a pair of
8
flowers.
dots.
Maybe it's the flowers that they need.
6 characters.
All right, so let's see. Is this 6 dot locked in? Yes. They're
2 characters.
my guess is they're a good defensive player over there on the left.
8 bamboos.
Because both of those jokers are locked in.
Mahjong.
Oh, darn. Our tile was in the wall. Shucks. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Pung, pung, kong, kong. Over here, they were waiting on a flower. Waiting on a flower. Over here, 4, 5, 6, gap hand-ish. And then here, of course, we had 1 discard there. All right, next game. Oh, here we go. We'll jump here. All right. Player on the left have, oh, I don't know. I don't remember seeing it. They might have. I don't remember. Okay, now we have a 1 dot pair. 1 dot pair. That's where I would start. With the rest of that, I would hold the 2s, maybe the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We do have like numbers with 5s. So 2, 3, 4, 5. We do have 7s in there. Here's some dragons. We could maybe try for a year hand if the 1s don't work out. But here we've got an east and a west. All right, so now we need to pick this apart here. So we have a 1 dot with a 2. We've got like numbers with 2s. 1, 4. I think that 4 can go. And then I'm thinking the 5 dot can go also. Or maybe one of the dragons. Let's see, because we do have like numbers with 5s. Or like numbers with 2s. But we have this pair of 1s. Let's let the 5 dot go. All right, we've got a 5 crack. Here's 2 7s and a 5 crack. All right, now we have east and west. I think I would let them go. We have more odds than we do evens. I think I would let the 2 dot go. So let's do 2 dot green with an east. Let's see here. 2 bam, 2, 1, 2. Let's let the 2 bam go. No, let's do offsuit number tile. Ooh, that was kind of a tough one. This 2 bam, I think, can go. It looks like we're maybe playing an odd hand or maybe like numbers. All right, we got a 9 and a 1. 9, 1 dragon. 9, 1 dragon. There's our another multiple with the 9 dot here. So west and 2 can go. This is now when we need to let something go here. Let's see, 1, 7, 9 in dots. 5, 7, 9, 1, 1. We have no 3. Let's see here. We could do like numbers with 1s. I think maybe the 7 can go. 5, 7, 9. Let's let the 7 bam go. This one is tough. We could maybe play like numbers with 1s and use the 9s as joker bait. Oh my goodness, the 7s. Wow. All right, so here's a lot of big odds. Okay, yes, we want to keep going. I think we should, let's see here. 5 bam, 5, 7 crack, 7, 9 dot. 5, 7, 7, 9, big odd potential here. I would break up the 1 and pass like numbers. I'm thinking the 5s and 7s were going around. We might be able to switch to like numbers with the flowers. Okay, so here's a 9 bam and an 8 crack. Here are tiles we can pass. We have 5, 7, 7, 9, no gaps. Let's let the 9 bam go. let's see, 579, no 3. 5779, maybe second hand down on the right. It would be ideal to get a 7 bam because then we can leverage the 5 bam. So we'll see if we get a red dragon, we could maybe play the dragon hand and try that one again. There's the 7 bam. Okay, so now we can leverage that 5 bam pair. All right, north 3 with an 8 can go. So yeah, this is coming in. 5779, pung, pung, kong, kong. No gaps, 3 multiples. At the moment, we have 7 discards, which is not good. But we have a hand with no gaps. All right, so now we have a 9 bam, 5, 7. We can pass 2 for sure. Let's see here. 5, we have all the 7s. They want 2 tiles. I think I would let that 9 go and give them a 2 and a 9. Keep the dragons, because if we get the 7s back, we can maybe play like numbers with 7s. But 5779 looks pretty good. It's a little bit weak because we can't call for anything but the 5 at the moment. So I'd say we're an underdog on this one. We have we have 6 discards, so we are an underdog. We have options though. Let's see how it goes. This could change in the first set rounds of discards.
3 characters.
Between now and 80 tiles remaining. Okay, that is helpful.
2 dots.
We're down to 5 discards now because we got a keeper.
7 characters.
So I'd still say that we're an underdog at the moment.
Green dragon.
I think I would let the dragons go.
6 bamboos.
We do not need wins.
East wind.
There was that hesitation there on that east.
6 bamboos. 2 bamboos. 5 characters.
All right, we need a keeper. Oh, that's not, we don't need that. We got a keeper. Okay, we're at 87
Green
tiles
dragon.
remaining. We're down to 4 discards, so I'd say we can bump up to contender.
6 characters.
This just means we can take a little more risk now.
Red
Multiplication. We have no 3, Ruth. No 3.
West
So I
wind.
wouldn't even consider that. 5, 7. Okay, we'll let the dragon go.
White
So
dragon.
the flowers, we need a Kong of flowers, and then we need a 3,
6
which we don't
characters.
have. That would be a single
6
weight,
bamboos.
but we'd have to throw away a pair and a pung. I would rather play the second hand down on the right. We're actually set now.
Flower.
We could pung the 5s and the 7 bam, Kong the 7 dot and 9. Okay, I think we should let the flower go. I'd say we bumped up to
Flower.
front runner now. We're at 79 tiles remaining and we have only 3 discards. So I'd say front runner. We play to win fast.
5 bamboos.
We're going to pung.
Pung.
Hopefully. Okay. So 5779 pung pung kong kong. You had it, but with 9 dots, you chose wisely. Oh, okay.
5
We had a 3,
characters.
but went with 9s. Yeah, I think that hand is a great hand, but we at the
Red
time
dragon.
had 1 flower and we would need a Kong. So I leveraged the multiples.
9 characters.
We had several multiples, 5, 7, 9. So I
3
let it
dots.
go. If we had more flowers,
1
maybe
bamboo.
that would have been a good choice. Okay, we have 2 discards. We're at 72 tiles
9
remaining.
bamboos.
It'd be really nice to get another keeper. I'd
8 dots.
rather not expose. Okay, there we go. So let's let the 4 go. Doesn't really matter, I guess.
4 bamboos.
So now we have one discard. We're a confirmed front
2
runner.
bamboos.
It's not a guarantee, but we have a really high likelihood of winning this
Flower.
game. Flowers are going down. Player on the right, I think, needs a flower.
Flower.
Okay, that's a keeper. We are ready to
5
win
characters.
at 65 tiles.
1 bamboo.
And this is a double weight. We need a
Red
7 dot
dragon.
or a 9 dot to win. Double weight,
West wind.
which is a strong weight. Double is a
Hum.
stronger weight. So we're in a really good position right now,
5 bamboos.
which just means we can take any risk. We're leading the way at the
White
moment. In
dragon.
I think my assessment is that we're a front runner here.
6 bamboos. 8 bamboos.
So we're looking for 7, 9, and dots, one or the other, or a joker.
2 characters.
And we're semi-stealth mode, by the way. We have only one exposure, so nobody's going to know what we're playing. Now, they could look in front of us and see 6s, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8 there, but we also have
6
5s
dots.
and 7s there. So it could look like we're playing,
3 bamboos.
I would say, because we have 5s and 7s, it could look like we're playing maybe
9
little
bamboos.
odds. That's what I would guess based on what's in front of
South
us.
wind.
But we're playing big odds.
9 characters.
Oh, I was hoping that was it.
6 dots. 9 bamboos. 7 characters. 8 bamboos.
Okay, we need we're at 49 tiles, so we're still in the middle game.
North wind. 2
more picks in the middle game here. So they must be playing the first wind hand. There was a hesitation on that
8
north.
dots.
The player to our right could be
7
playing winds though
characters.
too.
8 dots.
Okay, we need 8 bam. It's out.
8 bamboos. 3 dots.
So this player on our right is definitely not playing 3, 6, 9.
7
It
dots.
looks like there it is. Mahjong. Woohoo!
Mahjong.
Okay, so we do have 2 players playing winds here. So we've got a pung pung kong kong hand. No shame in this game. Pung pung kong kong. 25-point hand. Win little, win big. We have 1, 2, 1, 2 concealed. They have a pair of flowers they needed to offload. Here, east and west with 4, 5 offsuit kongs. Over here we have north and south with 4, 5. That's interesting. They were playing pretty much the same hand. They had each other's tiles. All right, here we go. We'll play again. Hopefully we'll get a squeeze in 2 more games. Okay, we're just waiting for people to join us. Hi, Mary. We have Mary at the table. Hello, Carol. Welcome. We're just waiting for people to join the table. We're talking about the power of position. Just kind of talking through that whole process of estimating your position at the table and how to leverage that information. How to leverage that. It's all situational, though. You've got to be really mindful of what's happening at the table. Okay, we have a widespread now. We have a flower, 3, 5, 6, 9, and bams. 3, 9 in cracks, 5, 6, 7, 8 in dots, and then a north and a west. I would focus on number tiles. We have 2 5s, 2 6s, 2 9s, 5 through 9. I would focus on 5 through 9. But we have like numbers with 3s. There is some 3, 6, 9 in there. But I think probably 5, 6, 7, 8 is the better choice because of tile efficiency. 5 through 8, I think this 9 bam probably can go. Let's see. Oh, we could have maybe tried for that chow hand, but we would need 5 flowers. We have only 1. Okay, chow hand, if you're just wondering, that's the 3rd hand from the bottom. Quinta flowers, chow with like numbers in the next number up. We could have done, oh no, we would have needed 8s, not 9s. Oh no, we have 6, 7, 8 with 9s. But I let the 9 dot or the 9 crack go. But we might be able to recover that. So let's keep that 9 and see what happens. Here's a west with a 1. We have 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 9s, 5, 6 in bams, and an 8. Let's let the 5 bam go. Let's see, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7 with 8s, 6, 7, 8 with 9s, 6, 7, 8 with 9s. Okay, so let's just see what happens here. All right, well now we have 4, 5, 4 through 8. Here's a pair of 5s. Let's just reassess. We need to just reassess. We have pair of 5s, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 5 through 8, 5, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 8. Let's let the 8 bam go. 5, 6, 7. All right, this is a tough one. You've been lucky playing chow, getting flowers, Joker's help. Absolutely. Okay, so now we have a pair of 8 dots in there. We definitely want to keep going. Let's hope we can keep going. 5 through 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe we can use this dragon here. Okay, here we go. This is a little bit risky. 6, 9 together there. We might be able to, let's see here. Let's do this. Let's let the 4 dot go with the 9 bam. And that way we have a 6, 9 left over for the next pass. I think we have potential for the second hand down, maybe under consecutive run, or we could play the pung pung kong kong hand, second one from the bottom. Let's see, we have a 1. Let's let the 6 bam go. Six, 1 west. That's a great pass. I think that's as innocuous as you can get. Little odd, middle even with a wind. That's a great pass. All right, we're looking for 6, 7 in dots, ideally. Nope, but we did get an option with our dragon. Okay, so now let's do 5 bam with an 8, 3, 8. Five, 6, 7, 8. Pung pung kong kong. Joker poker. What's Joker poker? Okay, we have, wow, we've got a 9 crack pair in here now. We could play 5, 6, let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. Let's see here. They want 3. I would give them 2. We do have a hand in here with no gaps, leveraging that 9 crack. 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. We're in between hands. So I would say we're probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're an underdog on this one. Even though we have multiples. Okay, so this 4 dot is not helpful. Let's see.
8 characters.
I would probably, look, we have a 9
4
bam
dots.
now. 9 crack, 9 bam. We have 6, 7, 8. We have joker bait with the 5 dot. So we have 3 discards with
1
joker bait.
character.
I would say, because we need a quint of flowers, I would
3
say we're a
dots.
contender now. Because we've got joker bait and 3
5
discards.
characters.
Let's let the dragons go. We have 6,
Queen
7, 8
dragon.
chow in hand. We could pung the 9s. We need to quint the flowers.
character.
That is the weakness that we have right now.
7 characters.
We have a hand with no gaps though. And we have a
3
5 dot pair.
characters.
That is the most efficient tile in the set. We may be able to get a joker out of that 5
Come.
dot. So let's just wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens here.
1 dot. 9 dots. 4 dots.
Let's see here. 3, 6, 9. We do have some potential here for that second 3, 6, 9
4
hand.
characters.
If we can get 9 dots, but there's 1 out here.
2
I
dots.
think I would just hold that 3 dot for a little bit. So we have 2 discards and 2
9 dots.
Oh, there's that 9 dot now. Forget it. I would not even.
4
No,
characters.
we're not doing that. Okay, east can go. And then I would probably let that
East win.
red dragon go next. I try not to hold on to winds and dragons if I'm not playing them.
South wind.
Somebody's playing winds though.
Kong.
There it is.
2 dots.
Joker. We need it.
Red dragon.
We need to quint flowers. We have a ways to go here. 81 tiles
5
remaining.
bamboos.
So now we're officially in the middle game.
8 dots.
With 2 discards and joker bait, I'd say we're probably a contender.
2 dots.
We don't want a west.
West wind.
Hesitation on the west. They could be trying
Hmm.
for the first hand. I was just going to say that. So now we know what they're playing.
Flower.
We're not ready.
3 dots.
We can pung both 9s.
3 bamboos.
We need help with this flower. Okay, now the souths are available for exchange.
9 characters.
Okay, let's pung. We have a hand with no
Pung.
gaps.
5 characters. 3 dots.
We're at 73 tiles remaining and 2 more
7
picks.
dots.
Let's see if we can let a 5 dot go and see if we can get a joker out of that 5.
White dragon.
We got a 9 bam.
8
All right,
dots.
I'd say we're a front runner now, but we need
West
flowers.
wind.
Thankfully, there are 8 flowers in the set, but I'd say we can
6
bump up to
characters.
front runner now. 68 tiles
9
remaining.
characters.
Joker.
5 dots.
Oh, shoot. Nobody wanted it.
4 bamboos.
All right. We need a good pick from the wall. Another one. We got a joker. We need a
6
flower
dots.
from the wall to be ready to win. Now, we could draw maybe a south and do a joker exchange to get ready.
7 characters.
It'd be really nice to, let's see, 5 dot. Let's just let that go.
5 dots.
It'd be really nice to draw that south.
7 characters.
Now, a statistic that I have heard is
9
that
dots.
you have the potential to draw 1.6 flowers from the wall.
Green dragon.
And that statistic matches with jokers because there are 8 jokers and 8 flowers. So you can apply that statistic both. It applies to both.
6 bamboo.
We did get jokers from the wall, so we've probably hit our quota for jokers, but we haven't drawn a flower yet. So I'm hoping that we will draw a flower to get ready to win. We need to quint. Thankfully, we have a pung of 1 exposure, this pung of 9s, so we're stealth mode.
3 dots.
It'd be really nice to draw a flower from that wall, or maybe the south. These wins here are available for exchange. Okay, so that is the 3rd flower out, or second flower. No, 3.
Dots.
There's 3 flowers here. I wonder why. There it goes. 3 flowers out. We have 1. That's 4.
1 bamboo.
Okay, flower. Oh, 4 bam. We need a flower.
4 bamboos.
And we're going to end up with a multiple weight.
5 characters.
We could win on a flower or a joker, but we've got to get ourselves ready first. So south would be a joker exchange.
3 bamboos.
Flower from the wall would be awesome, especially because people are discarding flowers. But we're not ready. We're not ready yet. There was a hesitation on that 8.
8 characters.
Okay, so we're at 45 tiles. We get 1 more pick in the middle
6
game.
dots.
Okay, we're going to pass, of course. We need to draw this flower. It'd be nice if we could be ready to win. Oh, uh-oh, north. Oh, I would do it. This is risky.
North wind.
That could be a winning tile.
Mahjong.
It is. That was an intolerable discard because they have 2 exposures. I was hoping they weren't ready. We have 1 away from that quint hand or quinta flowers hand, but that's all right. I'm all right with that. 2 exposures. I knew what they were playing and I took the risk. So if you are playing and you are confident that you can win, you just have to count the cost. Sometimes you'll discard the winning tile, and that's just part of the game. I'm okay with that. Now, in a tournament, if I were playing in a tournament, I would not have done that. I would have folded. But playing socially, playing in these live streams, I tend to play a little more assertively, play to win. Why didn't you throw the 5 dot? Because I was saving it as a safe discard for later. If I was going to play to win, I throw the riskiest tile first. I was still playing to win, so I discarded the north, which was our riskiest tile. So if you've decided that you're going to play to win, which I was playing to win, you discard the riskiest tile first because you're hoping that your opponents are not ready yet. And by letting that riskiest tile go before they're ready, that is the estimation. But in this case, they were ready to win. And yeah, that happens sometimes. The 5 dot was a safe discard for later because we are still in the middle game. I was anticipating that they were not ready to win yet, but there were no north south, so it was a possible winning tile with an intolerable impact. So I should have folded, but I'm a shark. I play like a shark. I'm an assertive player and I play to win. Everybody plays a little differently. And if you haven't thought about it, I just released my book, my 2nd primer, and in it, I talk about playing styles. And one of the playing styles is a shark, which is what I am. I play to win. I'm an assertive, adaptive player. So if I am close to winning in the middle game or end game, and I have 1 discard, I go for it. They must have had a good Charleston. Maybe the winds were probably going around, but We were in the middle game. They had jokers is the thing. Let's see here. They have, it looks like they got a north from me, but they had 3 jokers and they're playing a hand of least resistance, so they could use jokers. So they had a nice setup. They were a front runner too. Oh, thank you, Kathleen. I appreciate it. All right, so that's going to do it for this live stream. Let's see here. Let me share my screen. Oops, I didn't mean to. Oh no, what happened here? Oops. Okay, I'm going to share my screen real quick because I want to show you the matrix. This is the matrix, and no, it has nothing to do with Neo. Okay, so here we go. Here's the matrix. So we have on the matrix here, the next topic for next week. This was this week right here. High risk sabotage is what we talked about in the earlier session today. Power of position is what we talked about today in this session. Next week, we're going to cover scoring for the nitty-gritty basics. And then next week, we're going to talk about calculating risks, which is, I'll be more focused on that. I'll probably pull back and play like an orca. So yeah, probably focus more on risk and not taking them as much. Although no, dolphin is what it would be, because a dolphin is a little less risk tolerant, I guess you could say. All right, so that's what the plan is for next week, scoring and calculating risk. I hope to see you next week at the next Nitty-Gritty Prime Time Let's Play live stream. Does anybody have any questions? We'll be back again on Friday night for the Simply Social Let's Play live stream, where we hang out and just chat in live stream, and then we do gameplay with commentary as well. So I hope that you join us. Thank you, Evelyn. You too. If nobody has any questions, I'll go ahead and sign off. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. Click the little gray bell if you do. That way you'll get notification for when I post new videos, and you won't miss an opportunity to learn a new strategy or pick up an insight to the game that could give you an advantage at the table. Between now and the next video, may all your picks be keepers.